We may be asking ourselves, why should we come back to rebirth? Why must we return to this limited and miserable physical existence? Can we not get experience in the higher realms without coming into physical embodiment? Are we not tired of this dreary, weary physical life? Are we not tired? Let us see. First, let us come to the realization that the purpose of life is not happiness. Never. But experience. The spirit to gather experience. That is the purpose of life. Sorrow and pain are our most benevolent teachers. While the joys of life, how we term them, we are happy today, life is good, they are but passing. Experience is knowledge of the effects which follow things that we do. This is the object of life, together with the development of will, which is the force. Will is the force whereby we apply the results of experience. Experience must be gained, of course, but we have the choice whether we gain that experience by the hard path of personal experience or by observing others, what they do, reasoning about what happened to them, and reflecting thereon ourselves, being guided by our own experience. One of the best ways to learn is to learn from what happened to others, not waiting for you to also go through the same difficulty when you have the opportunity to learn and vary your circumstance. But the choice is ours. But so long as we have not learned all that there is to learn in this world, we must come back to it. We cannot stay in the higher worlds and learn there until we have mastered the lessons of earth life. So this is a preparatory school for us as spirits. We need to come back to earth until we have mastered the lessons of physical existence. So long as we haven't mastered the lessons of physical existence, we need to come back. Humanity, all of us, humanity is in school, the school of experience. We must return many times before we can hope to master all the knowledge of this sense world. No single earth life, however rich in experience, could furnish the knowledge. So nature decrees that we must return to earth after intervals of rest to take up the work where we dropped it in previous life. Just as a child takes up its work in school each day after the intervening sleep of night. So, we're talking about why come back to earth again. What benefit could come from a good life in a heaven where everybody is already happy? Surely, in a place where everybody is already happy, there is no need for sympathy, self-sacrifice, or wise counsel. No one will need them there, but on earth, there are many people who need those things. And such humanitarian and altruistic qualities are of greatest service to struggling humanity. Therefore, the great law, which works for good, brings the dead back to work again in the material world for the benefit of himself or herself and others. With the past acquired treasures, instead of letting them go to waste in a heaven where no one needs them. In heaven, nobody really needs your assistance, your help. Everything is already there. But here on earth, people need them. That is why we need to come back and help. Just as we ourselves also need help, because we have not finished learning the lessons of this material world. Remember the charge to humanity in the Bible. Genesis chapter 1 verse 26, where we read, "And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth." That charge to humanity we are still pursuing. We are yet to have dominion over the world, to master all physical materials and transfer them to etheric materials. We are yet to master that. For now, humanity is using dense matter to mold things based on our desires, our thoughts, and our will. With time, humanity will work directly using atoms and ethers. But we are not there yet. But we are gradually getting there. Quantum science, like others, is just the beginning of greater things to come, especially 400 to 500 years hence, when we enter the Aquarian age. It will be marvelous what humanity can do. It is all in living up to the charge to conquer, to have dominion over the earth, to master all the four elements of this world. In Matthew chapter 5 verse 48, we read, "Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect." Generally, humanity is not yet perfect, but working towards perfection. A single lifetime cannot make us perfect. So, we are created and destined to become creators and also add value to the Godhead. Let us summarize and conclude the lecture. When the spirit is thoroughly purged in purgatory, the purified spirit rises into the first heaven. So it is only after we have been thoroughly purged, the dead has been thoroughly purged in purgatory, that the dead can rise to the first heaven. First heaven is located in the three highest regions of the desire world, where the results of the sufferings are incorporated into the seed atom to give that body of the dead the quality of right feeling. When the physically dead person comes to scenes where he or she helped others, the dead realizes anew all the joy of helping at that time. In addition, the dead feels all the gratitude poured out by the recipient of the help. Similarly, when the dead comes to scenes where he or she was helped by others, the dead again feels all the gratitude that was then felt towards the benefactor. Our happiness in heaven depends upon the joy we gave others on earth and the valuation we place upon what others did for us. The first heaven is a place of joy without a single drop of bitterness. The spirit is beyond the influence of the material world, the earthly conditions, and assimilate all the good contained in the past life as it lives it all over again. Here, in the first heaven, all ennobling pursuits, all the good things that we want to do in earth life, to which we aspire, those good things, but couldn't achieve them, they are all realized in the fullest measure in the first heaven. There is no sickness, there is no sorrow, and there is no pain. We all gain the satisfaction which earth life couldn't give us. There, in the first heaven, there is one class, a particularly important class, whose life is so beautiful, the children. The first heaven is also a place of progression for all who had been studious, artistic, and altruistic. Let us take note that the physical world is the world of form. The desire world, where we find purgatory and the first heaven, is particularly the world of color. And the world of thought, where we have the second and third heavens, they are the sphere of tone. So we have the variation. When virtue and conscience have been sufficiently strengthened, then and only then does the dead leaves the desire body to disintegrate, as happened to the dense body and the vital body. The dead takes with him or her only the forces of the seed atom, the living information, which are to form the nucleus of future desire body. Finally, the ego, the threefold spirit, enters the second heaven, clad in the sheath of mind, which contains the three seed atoms, that of the dense body, that of the vital body, and that of the desire body. The second heaven is in the region of concrete thought. The extracts of the three bodies, as already mentioned, are built into the spirit, the threefold spirit. As much as of the desire body as the individual has worked upon during life, by purifying his or her desires and emotions, will be welded into the human spirit. As much of the vital body as the light spirit had worked upon, transformed, and spiritualized, will be amalgamated with the light spirit to ensure a better vital body and temperament in the succeeding lives. As much of the dense body as the divine spirit has saved by right action will be worked into it and will bring better environment and opportunities in the future. The second heaven is the real home of the spirit, the ego, the thinker. Here, in the second heaven, the dead dwells for centuries, hundreds of years, assimilating the fruit of the past of life and preparing the earthly conditions which will be the best suited for the next step in progress to come back into physical existence. Therefore, all the denizens of heavenly worlds work upon the models of the earth, all of which are in the region of concrete thought. They alter the physical features of the earth and bring about the gradual changes which vary its appearance, so that on each return to physical life, a different environment has been prepared wherein new experiences may be gained. Work in the heaven world is not confined solely to the alternation of the surface of the earth. It goes beyond that alteration. The dead is also actively engaged in learning how to build a body which shall afford a better means of expression in the future. It is humanity's destiny to become a creative intelligence, and we are serving our apprenticeship all the time on earth. During heaven life, teachers from the higher creative hierarchies teach the dead consciously how to build body. It is a law of nature that no one can inhabit a more efficient body than he or she is capable of building. The dead person first learns to build a certain grade of body and afterwards learns to live in it. In that way, he or she discovers its defects and is taught how to remedy them. At last, the individual spirit, without any bodies, ascends into the higher region of the world of thought, the region of abstract thought, which is the third heaven. And let us not forget Paul telling us of seeing a man in the third heaven. And for you to be conscious in the third heaven, it means you are highly developed spiritually. Here, in the third heaven, by the harmony of this higher world, the spirit is strengthened for its next dip into matter. After a time comes the desire for new experience and the contemplation of a new birth. This conjures up a series of pictures before the vision of the spirit, a panorama of the new life in store for it. Why should the spirit come back into physical embodiment? Rebirth. Why? First, let us understand that the purpose of life is not about happiness, but experience. Experience must be gained, but we have the choice whether we gain it by the hard path of personal experience or by observation of other people's acts, reasoning about them and reflecting thereon, guided by the light of our own past experience. The choice is ours. But so long as we have not learned all that there is to learn in this world, we must come back to earth. We cannot stay in the higher worlds and learn there until we have mastered the lessons of earth life. Humanity is also in school, and that school is a school of experience. We must return many times before we can hope to master all the knowledge in the world of sense. Every human being is created and destined to become a creator and also add value to the Godhead. For now, we are using dense matter to mold things based on our thoughts, our desires, and our will. With time, humanity will work directly using atoms and ethers. So it is important we experience rebirth. But it does not mean that we stay aloof, thinking that the work that should be done today, we will do it when we come back. No. That is a misconception. We need to get a job done now. We hope you have learned something new today. If you have any comments Any questions, any suggestions, kindly post them into our comment section. Let us meet again as we bring to you the final part 5 of this long presentation that we have been doing on what happens before, during, and after talking about death. Our last presentation, our last chapter, which is chapter 5, episode 5, we'll be talking about rebirth or spirit in matter as a human being. And we seek to explain to you how we finally descended into this body that we have built ourselves, and we are now called human beings. We thank you and see you.
Filling up every space, no privacy. And silently, it can build and build until you finally see. Whoa, it's taking over, damn no closure, moving closer. No exposure, I just wanna be a loner. Some can't stay sober, looking over all this.